Hello and welcome to the third exercise for the CSV Data Export chapter of the Siebel 22 workshop. In this optional exercise we are going to, put the icing on the cake, as we say, as we upload the CSV data that we have created in the first two exercises, bulk and incremental, to Oracle Object Storage, which is a service on Oracle Cloud. So this exercise tells us how to set up a valid user account on OCI that can then be used to send data to Oracle Cloud, so it can be picked up by cloud-based systems such as Oracle Unity, which is the official use case for the CSV data export in 21.10 or higher. So the exercise guide describes a few steps, and for the sake of data security, I will not go and repeat those steps in front of a screen recorder. I will show you that I've created a user, Siebel IAM, and so here I am logged into an Oracle Cloud account, and there's the new user, Siebel IAM is created. When you create a new user, it has very limited permissions, so you have to edit that as well, as described in the exercise guide, and you use this configuration file preview to get the copyable information that you will probably need to provide in the endpoint that is in our Siebel environment. The exercise guide also tells you to download the private key of that user. So you save it as a PEM file and you transfer that file to the Siebel environment. So in our case, we have stored the file in the temp folder. The exercise also tells us how to create an Oracle Object Storage bucket. So we have created that bucket already. So here's the Siebel CSV bucket. And for the new user to allow read and write permissions into that bucket or any bucket, you can create, or you should create, groups and group policies and then associate the group to the user. So the steps here are to go to Identity Groups in OCI, create a new group and add the new user to the group, and then edit the policies. So here is the Object Storage Allow policy that we have created in Oracle Cloud to allow the group called Object Storage to read any buckets in the tenancy and also to manage objects in the tenancy. Your real-world security policies might be different. So the next part in this exercise is happening in the Siebel application, and we set the parameters to allow export to OCI, and we specify the bucket name and fingerprint information, etc., that we have obtained from Oracle Cloud. Let's go to the data export screen. And the first parameter we change is export only to No, so this enables basically export to Oracle Cloud. Then there's the bucket name, which is Siebel_CSV. We don't use a directory in the bucket, and we have the fingerprint information stored temporarily in a file, so we can transfer it here. And we need to provide the path to the key file, the private key file that we have transferred to the folder. For the sake of demo, we just put the file right in the temp folder here. Then there's the namespace, which is the namespace of the bucket. Again, this is live OCI data, and your data will be different. So we have filled in all the necessary details. And the next step is to add the OCI root certificate to the trust store of the SES Tomcat. So for this we obtain from the browser, we obtain the root certificate and save it. Right here, let's just overwrite this file. So on the training machine, we can find the file, and we must use a command line that we can copy paste from here. So let's copy this file to downloads. Open new command prompt. Let's verify the file first. So we're using the Java key tool to import the OCR certificate file into the Siebel key store file in the internal application container for the SES Tomcat. Okay, so now it's time to restart the internal Tomcat. And now we will run a bulk export, and we will also test an incremental export. So in the Siebel application, to test the bulk export, go to Data Export Settings and select any category such as contacts, which is quite a lot of data, or exchange rates, which is less data. So let's just stick with exchange rates for now and use the refresh button. So after refreshing, we see that the status is blanked out again, so everything went fine. Let's verify in our bucket. Let's just reload that bucket here. Yes, the file has arrived in the Oracle Cloud or Object Storage bucket. So let's do a final test with an incremental upload. So we navigate to any contact and we just update a contact record. This should in a few minutes create an incremental file and upload it to Oracle Cloud. So after a while, we have confirmation that the incremental file has also arrived on the Oracle Cloud bucket. So that was a successful setup and test of the Oracle CSV Data Export as of 21.10 and higher. Thanks for watching this exercise. Take care and bye-bye.